He was the cowboy every American admired, but behind that smile and saddle was a secret that Hollywood wasn't ready to hear. At 74, Guy Madison revealed the truth he hid his entire life, and it changed everything. At 74 years old, Guy Madison, the cowboy legend of The Adventures of Wild Bill Hickok, dropped a stunning revelation. He once spent a night with 4 male actors all at once. But he made it clear it wasn't as glamorous as some might think. Beneath that jaw-dropping headline lies a deeper journey, one of love, secrecy, and endurance in a Hollywood plagued by discrimination. Let's walk through the life of Guy Madison, a man who lived one life in the public eye and another in secret. This tale might surprise you, touch you, and perhaps even shift your view of classic Hollywood. We begin in the 1920s in Kern County, California. Robert Ozell Mosley, that was Guy Madison's real name, was raised during the tough era of the Great Depression. His family was modest, and life was centered on simple values. As a young boy, he loved nature. He rode horses through open fields and helped with farm chores. That upbringing taught him the importance of hard work, patience, and tight-knit community. He loved hearing his father's tales of early settlers while sitting on the porch. Those stories grew a deep love for the land and for freedom. Those qualities stuck with him for life, forming the quiet charm audiences later saw on screen. Hollywood was never his dream. He studied animal husbandry at Bakersfield College, hoping to become a farmer and live peacefully among wide fields and whispering wheat. But destiny had different plans. When World War II began, Madison enlisted in the U.S. Navy and served as a radio operator in the Pacific. That period shaped him deeply. He became a man of discipline, humility, and patriotism. He learned to stay calm under pressure and gained a new appreciation for life. He witnessed combat, loss, and moments where friendship kept him going. These experiences gave him a kind of sincerity that audiences felt when he acted. When he played cowboys or soldiers, it felt real. It wasn't just acting. He had lived through hardship and seen how fragile life could be. Wait! If you enjoyed Guy Madison's story, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. In 1944, during a short leave in Hollywood, everything changed. He was spotted by Henry Wilson, a well-known agent who didn't just manage careers. He was also involved in romantic relationships with several male clients. Wilson saw in Madison a rugged beauty that reflected the all-American image. He believed Madison could be a star. Wilson wasn't just any agent. He created icons, and he saw star potential in Madison. Soon, Madison landed a small role in Since You Went Away, a film by David O. Selznick. Though he played a minor role as a soldier, audiences loved him. Letters flooded in from girls and mothers alike, touched by his presence. Selznick signed Madison, launching him as a national symbol. But let's pause here. Madison was different. He wasn't trained in acting, and critics noticed. They said he lacked experience and polish. Some said he was just a pretty face. But he had something more valuable: sincerity. On screen, he felt warm and genuine, like someone you knew. He wasn't pretending to be someone else. He was just himself, and that was enough. Soon, he took roles in movies like Till the End of Time, in 1946 with Robert Mitchum, and Honeymoon in 1947. Though not headline roles, they showed his potential, and viewers loved him more with each appearance. One of his closest friends was Rory Calhoun, another Western actor. Calhoun was more than a co-star. He was a real friend. They both loved cowboy films and often talked about work and life. Calhoun's easygoing but reliable nature made him a steady presence in Madison's life. They worked on projects together, and their bond was evident on and off camera. Calhoun often reminded Madison to stay true to himself, especially when critics were harsh. In the ruthless world of Hollywood, such friendships were rare and valuable. Madison's career reached its peak in 1951 when he starred in The Adventures of Wild Bill Hickok. The show aired on both TV and radio and became a sensation. Madison, dressed in cowboy gear alongside his sidekick Jingles, played by Andy Devine, became a household name. Kids looked up to him, adults admired him, and his face was everywhere, from cereal boxes to comic books. The show ran until 1958, and Madison became a permanent fixture in Western pop culture. The character of Wild Bill Hickok stood for honesty, bravery, and kindness. Every episode was about justice and loyalty, and Madison delivered those values effortlessly. But fame hid a complex private life. In 1949, when his stardom was soaring, Madison married Gail Russell, a stunning but troubled actress. Known for roles in The Uninvited and Angel and the Bad Man, Russell battled anxiety and alcohol addiction. Madison, kind and caring, tried to help her. He took her on peaceful walks and listened to her worries. But Hollywood was demanding. Work pressures, paparazzi, and Russell's struggles strained their marriage. In 1954, they divorced. Days later, Madison married Sheila Connolly, an actress who loved family and nature. They had 3 daughters, Bridget, Erin, and Dolly. Madison adored fatherhood. He played with his girls, taught them horseback riding, and told them tales from his own childhood. But long filming trips, especially overseas, strained his second marriage too. It ended in 1963. His marriage to Russell was sad but revealing. Madison never blamed her publicly. Even after the divorce, he respected her. He saw how the industry damaged her and held on to the good memories. With Sheila Connolly, life began with hope. They raised a family, and Madison carved out time for his daughters. He took them camping, introduced them to horses, and taught them life values. But the movie world didn't allow rest. Long travel and work demands created distance, and eventually the marriage crumbled. Yet Madison always worked to stay involved in his daughters' lives. He also had a significant but unofficial bond with actress Gia Scala. Scala, with Italian and Irish roots, faced emotional struggles similar to Russell. Though they never wed, their connection was deep. They went on walks, shared dreams, and found peace in each other's company. When Scala died in 1972, part of her estate went to Madison, a sign of their meaningful bond. Madison also had a son, Robert, from another relationship. Robert was raised in Italy while Madison filmed many westerns there. He mentored Robert in acting, writing letters with advice and encouragement. Now comes the part you've been waiting for. In a memoir published after his death, Madison revealed a deeply personal truth. He had romantic relationships with well-known gay actors during a time when such truths could end a career. He lived quietly but found connection and affection in hidden spaces. He wrote about silent film star Ramon Novarro, who brought him calm moments in Palm Springs. They would meet privately to laugh, share thoughts, and forget the world. He spoke of Tyrone Power, a bisexual star whom he met during rare, unguarded moments. He mentioned Anthony Perkins of Psycho, with whom he shared an intense and emotional connection. Then came Rock Hudson. Madison described their time together with both happiness and sadness, quiet nights in Big Bear, or secret dinners filled with open conversation. It was love that couldn't be shown publicly. But there's more. According to Darwin Porter's book, Howard Hughes, Hell's Angel, Madison also had a connection with billionaire Howard Hughes. Hughes provided him with clothes, a home, and even flew him across the country. This relationship, while hidden, was deeply influential. Hughes, known for being controlling, offered Madison chances he never imagined, but at a cost. Madison had to juggle the privileges with his need for independence. He never spoke of this relationship while alive, but his memoir told the story afterward. He didn't reveal these tales for shock value. He shared them with care, showing compassion for those he loved. "We didn't date like people think today," he said. "It was all secret, cautious, but it was real. We laughed, held each other, watched the sunrise, and imagined a world where we could just be ourselves." Those words are more than memories. They're a tribute to a generation forced to hide, yet who loved anyway? Madison's memoir wasn't just his story. It was a voice for many who had none. He recalled quiet letters, hidden glances, and secret touches, little moments that gave him strength. As the Western genre faded, Madison moved to Europe and starred in spaghetti westerns and war films. These movies had smaller budgets, but he gave his all. In Italy, he found the freedom Hollywood never gave him. He enjoyed evenings with co-stars, eating local meals and talking about life. His friendship with Rory Calhoun remained strong. Calhoun sent letters full of humor and support. They reminded Madison he wasn't forgotten. In Italy, he also grew closer to his son Robert. He took him on sets, taught him the craft, and passed on lessons of resilience. Robert admired his father and followed in his footsteps as an actor. Though distance sometimes came between them, their bond remained strong. By the late 1970s, Madison retired and chose a peaceful life in Morongo Valley, California. On a quiet ranch, he rode horses and tended to his garden, just like the cowboy roles he played. That ranch became a place of healing and reflection. He would sit outside, gaze at the hills, and think about his life's journey. He wrote letters to old friends, sharing stories and lessons from his time in Hollywood. Though away from fame, fans still loved him. He attended film festivals and Western fan events, always friendly and gracious. In 1996, he received the Golden Boot Award for his role in shaping the Western genre. A fitting honor. It wasn't just about his work, but his devotion to storytelling and culture. However, his health declined. Smoking had caused chronic lung disease, making it hard to breathe and move. Still, he kept in touch with friends and fans. Letters poured in, thanking him for inspiring roles. These messages brought him comfort. He read them quietly in the evening, smiling at the memories. On February 6, 1996, Guy Madison passed away in Palm Springs at age 74. He was buried at Forest Lawn Cemetery in Cathedral City, beside other legends. His funeral was intimate, attended by close family and friends. Don Burnett, a dear friend and fellow actor, gave the eulogy. He praised Madison as a loyal friend and a sincere man who lived with quiet strength. Burnett recalled filmic days, casual coffee talks, and Madison's deep thoughts on love and life. He said Madison was more than a movie star. He was a friend who always made time to listen. So, What can we learn from Guy Madison's life? It's not just the tale of a Hollywood actor. It's the journey of a man full of complexity, vulnerability, and quiet bravery. He lived during a time when being himself could have destroyed his career, yet he still found love and joy. His memoir, though released after he was gone, proves that truth can never stay buried forever. He told his story not to shock, but to honor others like him. I think of those of you watching, especially those who lived through the 40s and 50s. You may remember the weight of silence and secrecy. You may have seen a world change slowly, inching toward more kindness. Madison's story is about loving with courage, even when the world says you shouldn't. He stayed true to his heart, and that's a lesson that matters, no matter the time. As I researched Guy Madison, I felt his strength. As someone who seeks out meaningful stories, his life moved me. I see the boy from Kern County stepping into a world he never expected. I see him keeping parts of himself hidden, yet finding love in small moments. I see him at the end of his life, smiling at the mountains, content with the life he lived. His story also made me think of old Hollywood, a place of bright dreams and dark sacrifices. Madison, despite everything, chose honesty. His memoir isn't just about him, it's a message about kindness and acceptance. If this story inspired you, take something with you. Not just the image of Wild Bill Hickok, but of the man behind the cowboy hat. Maybe it helps you understand someone in your own life a little better, or maybe it brings back memories of the shows you watched and you smile, remembering that warm, familiar face. Thank you for joining me today. Let us know in the comments what other stars you'd like us to cover. Until next time, keep your heart open. See you next video.